Hello everyone, my name is Prem. I'm a student of Mike's Summer 2023 cohort, and today I'll be giving a quick outline of my proposed project for the Cyber 200 Cybersecurity in Context course. The topic I've chosen for my project is the ROI of cybersecurity, or what does return on investment mean for commercial organizations in the context of cybersecurity. And if you think about it, cybersecurity at its core is really risk management. And managing the risk means assessing what's at stake and then having appropriate systems and controls in place to minimize and mitigate that risk. Now, going by the Pareto principle, or what's more commonly known as the 80-20 rule, we know that most companies can have a reasonable amount of cybersecurity in place without it costing them an arm and a leg. But we also know that in today's scenario, a reasonable amount of cybersecurity is not good enough. Organizations have to go that extra mile to ensure their systems are really secure, which takes a lot of money. And in this project, I aim to explore the critical components that go into a cybersecurity practice and the cost factors that go into it, and also try to look at some qualitative and quantitative benefits of having a good cyber defense in place. I will also try to explore the if there are enough incentives for a company to have a good cyber system in place. For example, what was the impact of a major cyber incident on a company's stock price, say 2 years after the incident? Was it really that much of a big deal, or was has it all now been forgotten and it was just a bit of PR nightmare at the time it happened? So we take a look at these sort of cost benefit and analysis and realize there's a lot of intangibles in place. And therefore, the key question I would like to answer is how much should an organization really invest in their cybersecurity? And as part of this, we'll look at case studies that compare organizations that have a similar size, similar revenue, that are in the same domain, and try to see if there are any common trends in the amount that they invest in their cybersecurity. I would also like to take a look at the role of insurance and insurance companies and seeing what does that do to a company's risk appetite. For example, do they go these insurance policy incentivizes to have a good cyber defense in place, or do they take the approach that we have an insurance policy, therefore we don't really need to invest too much in our cyber defense? What do companies normally tend to do? Is there any case studies on that? And then finally, I would also like to take a look at a case study that takes a quantitative approach to getting an answer to this number. For example, wouldn't it be great if a company could go, I have 1,000 employees, I am in the healthcare domain, we make $500 million in revenue, we put all that into a formula, and which now tells us that we should be investing X millions of dollars in our cybersecurity. Wouldn't that be a great ballpark for companies to follow if that existed? Why is it important to know how much to invest in cybersecurity? Because even though cybersecurity is important, no organization can afford to invest all its capital in cyber. Organizations have finite resources and they need to manage the resources appropriately. Now, most organizations know how much they can afford to spend on cyber security, but would very often struggle to determine how much should they be spending. And finding an answer to this can help organizations who are genuinely trying to do the right thing. It can help these companies make a rational decision, or at least give them some sort of ballpark number to aim to. The reason I chose this topic is because I think the question really sits at the core of cybersecurity practices. The investment into cybersecurity will play a big part in shaping the cybersecurity landscape, and it's an answer every CFO, CEO, or even the board would like an answer to. Extrapolating the same question to a nation, we know that a nation's critical infrastructure has to be protected at any cost. But by the same token, a country also doesn't have infinite resources. It needs to prioritize health, food, water, housing, and all those resources that a population generally needs. And by looking at these issues at an organization level, maybe, just maybe, it will provide us a pathway to one day answer the question to how much should a nation invest in cybersecurity. So that's the reason I've chosen this topic, and thank you for watching my video.